to Adult Buddy Finders.
I'm Greenberry.
And I am Kirsten, and we are here to help you find an adult buddy.
Yeah, as best we can. We're doing our best here.
Yes, we are. Unless you are under 18, then we are not helping you. Then you are turning this off, and you are coming back when you turn 18.
As soon as you turn 18, because it's that good. It's something worth turning 18 and celebrating with.
So get older.
Get older. Get older as fast as you can.
Go.
Time flies when you're getting older.
Everyone else, welcome.
Everyone else, welcome. And today, I'm super excited because we're talking to a girl, not from my hometown, but from my home state, and like close enough that she feels like a hometown girl, Amy Kennedy, and she is also known as Hammer Titty.
Hammer time. Hammer titty time.
Hammer Titty. So, yeah, she's from, she worked with my brother at a bar in Grove, Oklahoma. The Blind Swine. Shout out to Blind Swine in Grove.
Whoop.
Yeah. Did you watch the TV show Ozark?
No.
Oh, okay. Hurtful.
Hopefully you guys did.
I won't go too far and too deep into it, but it basically, the show Ozark is about the Ozarks in Missouri, and where I'm from in Oklahoma is right on the cusp of Missouri. And this place is the closest thing to the Ozarks because it's right by a lake. And it's one of those towns that's very quaint, but in the summertime, it like literally quadruples in size because everyone comes out.
It's a tourist trap. Tourist town.
Yeah.
Tourist town?
It's not a trap. Might be a trap. But it is a town where people come for tourism. And that's where they're from. It's kind of a small little town. And this bar hosts Jello Wrestling, which is actually for a good cause.
So that's what people are coming to that town for. Coming from across the world for the Jello Wrestling.
Yes, for the Jello Wrestling, which benefits combat veterans or veterans in general. I guess I should find out what they benefit. That they do benefit veterans.
Only combat because it's wrestling and so it needs to be on brand.
We don't know. We don't know what we're talking about.
If you're not combat-y, you don't get a cent.
We don't know who exactly it benefits, but hopefully, I don't know.
People in need.
It's for a good cause. Not that Jello Wrestling is ever for a bad cause. I mean, heck, if the money just goes to the wrestlers, I think that's fine
good.
too.
It's a great cause.
Yes. She's such a fun personality, and Hammer Titty is such a great name.
I love that.
And she's got big O knockers.
She's got boobies. She's got titties.
It's more than you and I combined, which isn't saying much.
So it is more than a B cup.
A half A.
A training bra.
An introverted nipple. Training bras were cute.
I know, they were. You know, I can still fit in training bras.
They're good bras.
They are awesome bras. My mom and my aunt have much larger breasts than my sister and I, and they would always complain about their big boobs, and we would complain about our teeny bumps.
I guess it doesn't matter what size boobs you have or anything, I guess.
You can always complain.
You can always complain. You got short hair, you want long hair. You got curly hair, you want straight hair. You got wavy hair, you want anything. I have wavy hair. That's why I have wigs.
You're beautiful. You don't have a wig, you want a wig.
Yeah,
It's a hard life we
full
live.
of ones.
Yeah. So have you ever wrestled?
Oh, I have. See, okay. That spurred my question. I said once, and I was thinking, have you ever wanted somebody? So that's my question to you. Have I ever wrestled? Yes, because I have 4 brothers, so we fought each other to the death, and I have been dead and alive many times.
Wow.
Had my thumbnail completely smashed off by a brick.
Ooh. You wrestled with a brick?
I mean, I attacked my brother with a snapping turtle, so...
And he came back with a brick?
It's not the same
that
fight.
still doesn't seem
Those
fair.
are different fights.
Oh, okay. But, okay, all right. I don't understand brothers. I don't have one, so I don't know.
I'll bring you home to let you then wrestle you, and they'll probably stop wrestling.
Yeah, probably. I will wrestle people. I wrestled people.
Yes?
I have wrestled in high school. I wrestled some of the high school wrestlers.
For sport or just for
fun?
Because they didn't have women wrestling.
They'd be like, no, we did have a woman on one of our teams.
Why didn't you do that?
We only had one team.
On one of our mini wrestling teams.
She was awesome. I wanted to do it, but I think it conflicted with another sport or something I was doing. But I always thought it'd be fun. And so the guys on the high school team were like, you want to wrestle? Well, let's wrestle. And be like, all right, let's go.
Hey, baby, want to wrestle?
And they never
and
could
they
pin
meant
me.
it.
Yeah. And they never could pin me. Because I'm
wholesome.
flexible as shit. So I would just take my leg and like walk it around my head and be like, you pin me? What? I don't think so. It was good fun.
That's wholesome whenever you say, do you want to wrestle? And they actually physically wrestle you and don't mean it sexually. That is some small hometown baloney.
And I think it actually, I might be wrong. I think it might have been like they thought going into it, it was going to be a sexy time thing. It was going to like lead to something more sexy. But I was like, no, we're doing it. I'm going to win. You're going down.
So they said, hey, baby, want to wrestle? And you're like, Ellie Mae Clampett. You're like, I'll put you in a hickory nut crunch.
I took off my jacket and they were like, yeah, let's do it. And I was like, yeah, let's do it.
Your
And
dick
like,
is mine.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to rip it off.
Crush you. I'm going to win no matter what it takes. And you're like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Speaking of high school.
Yes.
Or any time in your life. I think we think high school, junior high, but you can have a crush at any time. So have you ever had a crush, unrequited or other? Like, have you ever, like, saw someone, pined for them, and how did it go?
I've never crushed for anyone. I don't like anyone.
Asexual.
Of course. I've crushed hard. That's true. I've done asexual too.
I've done asexual too.
I've done sexual. Yeah, I had a crush in high school and when I was younger. I just don't remember who they were. No. I did have a crush on...
names. Show their pictures. We'll judge them. I'm in wrestler mode.
It's funny because I can think of the wrestling, but the high school crushes... I went to a very small high school, and so there were not a lot of options. And it was kind of weird because you grow up with them and you know their family, you know everything about them, you know when they peed their pants, you know, so it's a little bit harder.
You literally grow up together.
Yeah. For me, it was harder to have that, like, sexy feeling towards anyone. I was very much into the guys that were not in town. I did have a crush.
Out of towners. That was her crush. Are you not from Greenville, California? She likes it.
Oh my God. There was a guy who I think he was the either grandson or nephew of one of the families that lived out around the valley. And he would come visit every once in a while. And we have one big dance during the whole year. There's the 4th of July dance. And that's when out-of-towners come into town. And he came into town, and I met him, and I think we danced together. It was kind of hot and whatever. I mean, it was super hot. He was an out-of-towner. And I had a big crush on him, and I think he ghosted me or something. But I would still sometimes drive around the valley to see if I could, you know, see if his car was there, see if he was there. Even though if I saw him, I don't know what I would have done. I probably would have ran away. What about you?
Well, I actually did have a crush. So my best friend had a crush that she was very much, like, she knew a lot about. Like, she knew the number of teeth that he showed when he smiled, and she liked to have these facts, and she wrote poetry. And I had a crush, and I told...
Sorry, her vibrator's
I
going
know,
off.
everyone's texting me back. Or am I tooting? Who knows? It's my phone, I swear.
And she has it right in between her legs.
Yeah, it is.
Every time.
Hello.
Let's talk more about my high school crush.
Yeah. Text me harder. Seriously, not right now. I'm in the middle of something. So, yes, I had a crush. I won't say who. Actually, everyone probably knows. He was my preacher's grandson, and he was the drummer at the church. And he was good with. I loved children, and I was like, I That's
not what I thought you were gonna say. Okay, good with children.
I don't know what you were gonna say either.
A drummer. I thought like sticks with his hands. He was good with his hands. And
I didn't.
Children.
This is a crush. I have no idea what he did with his hands. I'll never know. But yeah, so I worked in the church nursery, and he was just funny and good with kids, and I thought he was just so cool. He was older than me, and I was like, oh, you're so hunky. He had braces, and I was like, braces.
Oh yeah, let me get my tongue caught on it and bleed.
Well, she would like solicit information. She's like, you gotta know this. You should know this and this, and I'd like try to find like fun facts about him. You know, like kind of. Anyway. She told him that I had a crush on him, and I was so humiliated.
And it didn't go well? He didn't receive it? Or
he said, oh, she's too young, which is just a way to say, she's too ugly for me.
I mean, fair enough. What, were you, a teenager? I mean, in teenage years, 1 year is like 20 years when you're older. Okay, maybe not that much.
I think he was being nice, but it doesn't matter. I do think that she thought it would go different. I don't think it was like completely bad-spirited, but I don't know.
I also feel like sometimes, I mean, it is nice when friends kind of help you out in that, but I think some of them
need... I'm a good wing woman.
That's true. You are.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
I do think there are people out there that think they're helping their friend out, and in all honesty, they're making it worse because they either give too much, where they're like, oh, my friend is in love with you and has always been in love with you and thinks you're the best and wants to have babies with you.
Right.
And it's like too much. Way too much.
Everyone's afraid.
Yeah.
We're all scared now.
Where if you like, you kind of, hint at it or whatever, and you're like, oh yeah, and this one is really into you. I'm just saying she might like you. What do you think? Or when also without the other person wanting to be put out there can be harmful. I've had friends where they've gone too far. Or also, I'm like, I don't really want to start, like, I'd rather get to know this person before you say that I like them.
Yeah. Because I might unlike them.
Yeah.
It's that easy sometimes. But not with this crush. This crush lasted a very long time. And it was, well.
Are you still crushing?
And I'm a married woman. I have no feelings.
Did you ever reach out? Like, later in life, were you ever like, so my friend's an idiot for saying those things. I was way too young for you then.
There were other crushes that but that one was like my first one, and it was a long running crush. So, but there were other crushes that like you like see guys and you're like, gosh, he's so hot, and they're always older. Mine I was old. I was an older one, and like, oh, he's like a senior, and I'm just born. I'm a fetus. And then someday you're not a fetus anymore, you're a grown woman, and they're still, like, kind of the same because you don't really change until you're, like, 70.
They stay the same, and you just keep getting older. Is that what you're saying?
As long as you use sunscreen, you can...
Once you hit 20,
you can be 57. Who
stop
knows?
aging at 20. There is no age after 20. That's it.
Yeah, I think that's science, but...
Yeah, that's definitely
science. Not him. No, I would never. And it kind of became, like, pretty he definitely, became more familial. Like, he was one of my brother's really good friends, and... like the church that the preacher was like my grandpa. I just like, eventually it became like he was somebody that was a cousin's cousin or something. Just enough that I didn't need to keep pursuing it or feel like, oh, I can't wait till he's single.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Gosh, who knows? Maybe like there might have been in a drunken night. I'm like, how you doing? I don't know.
I'm pretty sure I've done that. I'm pretty sure. Yes. I love drunk reach outs. Yes.
Yeah.
I used to. And I had more college crushes that I was like, maybe I should check back in. Maybe I should just be like, hey, where are you now? What are you doing? Me, nothing. What?
Nah. So we'll have to see what Amy Kennedy, aka Hammer Titty, did to crush her crush.
Smash crush her crush.
Smash crush it.
That's what I want to do.
Smash it.
Smash crush crushes.
Hammer, you bang with that titty, and you crush your crush.
Mm-hmm. You're killing it. Keep going.
I think that I should write for her campaign.
Definitely.
Yeah. Bang with the titty, crush your crush. That's Hammer Titties slogan.
Boom. Nailed it.
Let's talk to Amy.
Yes.
Oh, all right. We are here with Amy Kennedy, also known as Hammer Titty.
Just one titty.
Just one hammer titty.
I know. Is that titty a strong force? Like, does that help you fight in those Jello rings?
It was kind of I nicknamed myself that by accident. So back in 2018, when the Blind Swine decided to do Jello Wrestling, a good friend of mine was working there, and she called me and said, "Hey, we've decided to do Jello Wrestling here at the Swine, and we decided you're going to win." I was like, "Well, no, like that's not a thing because I'm not going to participate." She's like, "No, you have to. You're going to win."
It's rigged?
No, not at all. And I'm like, I don't like Jello for one, and I don't unleash Amy Hammer Titty Kennedy for just anybody. And literally down to the wire of 30 minutes before the event, Brandon's, like, "Oh, we don't have quite as many people as we wanted. They do get a free bar tab for contestants." I'm like, what?
Sold.
Okay, you got me. So I mean, the girl I wrestled to win was half my size. She was a teeny tiny little thing. Pretty sure she had her toes tucked in her butthole. It took forever to get her legs out from underneath her. But, it was so much fun. Nervous. It was very nerve-wracking. It was, it was hard to get her legs out from her. But you know what? There's the final match on that first year is on the Facebook page for the Blind Swine, and I still go watch it once in a while because it's so entertaining.
Oh my God, yes. I think everyone should watch it.
Yeah, we'll have to put that in our show notes and on the page and stuff so people can know a little bit more about your skills. Did you ever did you fight in school or anything?
I did not. Like, I am the most docile, non-aggressive person ever. Like, I will hurt your feelings before I ever actually hurt you with fists. I will cut you with words. I am not aggressive, very non-violent. I'm a big weenie, but Jello Wrestling just worked. I don't know why.
I love that.
You have to have shots first. Shots.
And is it as sexual as it sounds? I mean, all the pictures is women in bikinis and TNA, and oh my God, I'm falling in Jello. Is that what it is?
The very first year was not. The second, even the second or third years, it was a little calmer. This last year in particular, it was probably the raciest I've ever seen it. There's a club very close by that features dancers. And so this last year, not only did those girls participate, but girls from another club a few miles away participated. Tops were removed. It was hardcore this year.
The dancers participated in the wrestling?
Yes.
Oh my God, that's me.
Yeah, they gave a show.
If I was a sister,
they gave a good show. They were aggressive.
They say that spring break gets crazy. That's how hire professional dancers. I'm just a girl on spring break, and I also just happen to be an amazing dancer who do the splits, my legs over my head, and then all the other regular Joes are like, I guess I have to put my legs over my head.
I could probably do that. Why not?
Doing it.
See, I'm telling you that. They pay for the show. It's at least $10 to the combat vets. It's for a really good cause. Every bit of the money goes to the combat veterans, and then I believe they donate a certain portion of the sales for the food or whatever for the night as well. But it goes for good cause. And those girls this year, they were in it for death. They were aggressive. They gave them a good show. They got their money's worth.
Dancers are aggressive. They have a crazy life.
It was rough. But it was still entertaining.
Yeah. She's like ice skating and stripping. Same.
Yeah.
Basic.
I see the relation.
Thank you.
Did you feel objectified or powerful when you were Hammer Titty wrestling around in that Jello?
Honestly, powerful because if you watch that first year, having an entire bar of people scream your name, whether it be Hammer or Amy, it's just, you can't get a feeling better than that. I don't like to be the center of attention necessarily. I know it's hard to believe, but it's just crazy when you have that many people cheering you on and genuinely rooting for you. This year people were mad that I wasn't in it. They would come up to me, "I'm only here to watch Hammer wrestle," and I didn't wrestle. I'm retired now.
Yeah, why did you retire?
I am in my 40s, and these girls are half my size, half my age, and I am too old for this. I'm too old.
I need Hammer Titty to return on her 50th birthday.
Oh,
You know, maybe I will. Maybe.
Yes.
I wanted somebody to, maybe offer, I don't know, $500 donation to the combat vets, and I would have got in there and wrestled Brandon. But I don't know if Brandon wants to wrestle me. Yeah.
You would have kicked his butt.
I don't know if he'd go for it, but it'd be fun.
Was there something also to being a different persona when you're going out there and you are Hammer Titty versus Amy? That gives you kind of that extra freedom and a little bit of a permission to go outside.
Be as bad as you want to be.
Yeah.
A little bit, it's just so hard to explain because I get so nervous that they had to supply some shots beforehand. Just getting the nerves under control before you get in front of all those people, because what if you fail? What if I hurt myself? The second year, well, actually it was the first year. The first year after the match was over, they just had like a fun match going, and I went to run up there. For some reason, I don't know why I was even doing it, but the floor was still wet from the Jello. And I tell you what, I slipped. My feet came out from underneath me. My head hit. Some guy ran up and went, safe. It was hilarious, but I don't think I could have handled the embarrassment of that had I not had a few shots.
So not the persona, just alcohol.
Absolutely. And I mean, probably not for everybody, but last year there was definitely a few girls that had a few too many.
In the bedroom, I feel like there's also this whether it is a persona or alcohol, sometimes, having just a little something to help you have some confidence in playing that role and whatnot. It's very helpful.
It really is, honestly.
We're not encouraging alcoholism or alcohol abuse on this show.
Drink responsibly. There you go. We covered it.
Drink responsibly. That's the ticket. Did you have a signature move? Did you slam down the hammer titty on someone's face? Like what was hammer titty?
So the hammer titty nickname, the way it occurred was, that video of the chick like smashes the watermelons with her boobs.
Yes.
That will be.
Everyone is convinced I can do that. I have never actually tried this, so I probably never will. But that video was kind of fresh in my head that day when this all came up, and that's kind of how the whole thing. So when they had us get nicknames, that's what they went with already, just because I'd thrown it out there. I kind of have a signature move that I didn't mean to have, and I called it the whale roll. I don't know what to call it. It's just once you get to the feet, if you can get the one unhooked, I rolled real fast to grab a hold of her other ankle before she could get out of my grasp. And that was the only way I could win.
Like a shark spinning, like an alligator. Is that what you're thinking?
Kind of, yes. So maybe the alligator would have been more appropriate than whale roll. I don't even know. I noticed when I watched it back, so when I would talk to people, I'd be like, look at that. I seem to have a signature move I didn't even know I had.
I think whale roll is perfect. I think it's a way to empower it. It's like a massive animal that swims around. It's kind of scary. I mean, they're mostly harmless, but
right. Unless you're an orca.
If they didn't want it, if you Jello wrestled a whale, I think they would win. Most humans cannot beat whale at Jello wrestling. I think that's a fact.
Yeah, I think so. I probably wouldn't do so well against them.
Okay, so now I want to hear about you had a crush in high school.
Shortly after high school.
Shortly after.
I was 19. I was still living with my parents. I already had a 2-year-old son because, rescues.
Hammer Titty got out.
That's popular. So yeah, 19, moved in across the street, this little brick house. He was married at the time, but we got to be really good friends. My son used to run across the street, and he would pick him up by his ankles and shake the devil out of him, and my kid just loved it so much. I mean, he'd go over every day to have the devil shake out of me. It was hilarious. And his wife, I mean, I was really good friends with both of them. I had a crush on him since he's married and I'm not a hoe. I thought much of it. And there was a short window there where he was getting divorced from his first wife. And I was trying to kind of move in there. But again, not a hoe. Didn't push enough, apparently. Missed that little window. And then here came second wife. So, I haven't really talked to him much over the last few years. See him on Facebook and things. Every once in a while, I'd see him when I'd come back home because he's here in Kansas. And I'd been in Oklahoma for 17 years. I knew he got divorced. We actually both have 10-year-olds. They're one day apart. So I'd talk to his second wife, like when the child was born. They're really close. But yeah, I moved back home in November. I wasn't home a week. We worked together there too in my early 20s.
When you first met him?
Yeah, I met him at 19, but then we all worked together. My best friend here still, a bunch of us all worked together, and we got to be pretty good friends. So as soon as I moved back to Tampa, you got a question?
I do.
Going back.
What initially you said you
had a crush on him? What did you find attractive about him?
He has Jerry curl hair. I guess is the way. I don't know. He's got the tightest, curliest hair, and he used to have it a lot longer than it is now. He's growing it out, but he just has the cutest, curliest hair. And he's super smart assy, which is kind of a huge deal.
Some people like ass, and some people like smart ass.
Smart ass is kind of the way to go. Sometimes he's a little too smart ass.
Hard to live with the smart ass.
But the sense of humor goes a long way in the world, and so many people don't have one. And
we like funny.
We love funny.
We love
people that can shake the devil out of other people. That's a real skill. Real skill.
He would swing him up and didn't let go of him, and I just would about have a heart attack. I'm like, you're going to drop him on his head, and he never did.
When I was a kid, I loved being
that child's 27 now. So.
Probably not getting thrown.
You were saying you used to work with him in your 20s.
And you moved back. As soon as I moved back, one of my best friends that was here, I was here a week, and we went out for drinks. And so while we were sitting there drinking, we're like, man, who do we used to talk to and hang out with that we can call? And Dave came up. We knew he had recently been divorced. So.
Did you know what you were doing when you were
100% harmless. This was just, let's have Dave come out for drinks.
Okay, well, then I'm going to go run my thing.
No. It's still kind of, it's crazy that it's even a thing. No, my friend Julie, she messaged and was like, hey, Amy and I are having drinks. Come have a drink with us. He says, well, I kind of have a girlfriend. And we're like, okay, is she ugly? Like, is there a reason? Are you scared for us to meet her? Like, we don't care, bring her. They'd only been dating like a week. It wasn't really a serious thing. They just, kind of hanging out. So he brought her. She's special. And just through the.
So you got along very well that night?
Well, I know her. Small hometown. Know everybody just about.
Okay.
I knew his second wife and his first wife. She was not. They weren't going to work out. It wasn't going to be a good match. So, in communications, my number was given. And 2 days later, he wasn't dating her, and now he's dating me. So
when you saw him, did all those feelings come back? Is that how the number slipped out of your phone?
My friend actually slipped the number into his phone because she already knew that I thought he was super cute, but he had no idea for any time. He's like, "You really had a crush on me?" I was like, "Yeah, I don't know why he didn't notice. I guess because I'm not an aggressiss hoe, as we've established."
He didn't go forward.
Absolutely, more power to him. I just can't. I'm not trying to move in on people's territory, and
You got to be respectful of everyone involved.
Absolutely.
I think there's with relationships, especially when there's other people, a girlfriend, those are people. And just because you have an eye on somebody, you shouldn't just, think about your feelings and what they're thinking. You got to think.
Right. So that's why, it was like two days later because he was pretty well done with her that night anyway. Again,
what'd she do? What happened?
Just not pleasant.
Okay, but that night you could tell that there was a rift in the relationship.
On the way to the bar to meet us, they had a little disagreement over something completely asinine and ridiculous that we thought was hilarious because it didn't happen to us. So, we were thoroughly entertained, but it was just kind of reconfirming that it wasn't probably going to go anywhere. And so,
you two have
some moments that night where you were like, it's a good night for me to let my friends slip my number.
All signs point to
when Julie and Dave, they were talking, and at one point they kept looking over at me, and it's karaoke night. Like, I'm just doing my thing. I was singing and having a grand old time, and I'm just smiling goofy like at them because I don't know what they're talking about. And finally, he's like, do you actually like me? You like me? I was like, I mean, yeah, I know.
That night?
Like, yeah, that night. I was like, I mean, I kind of have for like 25 years. He's like, seriously? I was like, yeah. He's like, huh. I had no idea. And I was like, then I'm good. I guess I hit it well. I don't know. And so that's that one.
He just came out and was like, all right, here it is. Here it is.
Apparently, my best friend was commenting that she did not care for this girl that he was seeing.
She was wingman.
Yeah, and she was like, he's like, well, I don't know. I don't want to be alone in the town. Not a lot of options. And she's like, yeah, that one right there, and pointed at me. And that's how they started talking about me. And I didn't even know. I was just cheers, like, hey, thanks.
Just having fun. Love at night. Being hot and sexy. Sticking your heart out.
I was definitely feeling myself.
And in that specific moment, it was just like you were meeting with the friends that you had once had an attraction to, that you knew was in a relationship, and it was wherever it was going, you didn't know at that specific moment. But you're like, I'm just gonna have fun.
Yeah.
Like, and I see this ending, and I know what's good for you, sir.
Exactly. That is how it came up. And I mean, yeah, that relationship ended like the next day, and the day after that, he called me. So.
Oh, wow.
Nice. Do you think it would have gone if you would have gone up and been like, hey, this isn't working with you and this girl, but I'm what you need, baby.
I mean, maybe, but I'm so painfully shy when it comes. Like, I probably wouldn't. I'm a walking contradiction. I say that, but yeah, you give me
you seem very outgoing, and you Jello wrestle. So people would say, oh my gosh, and you literally slid and fell and had shots, and you're like, as long as I have a couple shots I can fall on my butt in front of
suddenly I don't care.
And you said you were popular.
Usually shy people are popular. I'm just saying.
I put myself out there.
You are correct.
Yeah, but I think every person has a lot of shades. So I think it's important for people.
I don't like to be rejected, I guess, is where I say I'm shy. Maybe that's the better way. I don't like rejection. So if I don't know it's a sure thing, I won't put myself out there.
A lot of people who message us have that same fear, and I think it's pretty common. It's human, I think. It goes back to our caveman brain of like, we will die if you don't like us. The tribe will kill us. So I think it's just important to understand how things can appear, and it's not inside. You can feel very, very, very insecure. So you think like, if you're Jello wrestling, if you're okay with being in front of hundreds of people, maybe not dressed, maybe body parts are flying out, maybe your butt's sticking out in the air. That doesn't mean that you're going to be so confident to talk to someone that you've known for literally 20 years to be kind of like, I want you to know that you might assume that they could tell because you talk to them or you smile a certain way.
Right.
And everyone, I think, has made that mistake. So it's good to hear it, to say like, if you don't tell someone that you're attracted to them, they might not understand.
They really, because I mean,
or if you don't,
I assumed it was just common knowledge, but it was not.
Yeah, that's a lot of the times too. You think that somebody knows you're either into them or maybe you want a certain thing, but until you say it or tell your friend to tell them, they aren't gonna know.
Yes. And it is like, you're thinking it all the time. You feel like you're probably transparent when you're around them. Maybe you laugh more, you blush more, or something that you feel like is a dead giveaway. But
right.
That's because you know you. And your behavior, and your best friend knows your behavior, but they know.
So going back all the way to your 20s when you first met, or 19, why didn't you make a move then? You said he was married, but he got divorced. And you didn't.
It was a short window, like from small town. Everybody knows everybody. So like, I have photos of him and his first wife at their baby shower. Second wife happens to be in those photos too. Like,
wow.
I mean, everybody knows everybody, and so there's some old photos, but it was a short window. between 1 and 2.
Did you think about it? Were you like,
Yeah, I mean, I was checking on him, and because he got kind of bummed out there, and so I was calling and trying to check on him, but he was in his little depression, and I was not pushy enough.
Yeah. And you all were friends. You had a friendship.
I'm for giving space after breakups and stuff instead of jumping in.
Right, you know, I didn't want to. Yeah, I was trying to let him know that I was there without being pushy, but you know.
Yeah. Well, second wife didn't work, so
that's what I'm thinking.
It did for a very long time. They were together like 19 years, but yeah, they're not together now. So.
And you are. So.
Yeah, you know, anytime I saw him after that, after he met this, you know, started dating the second wife, because I eventually got married. My husband passed away last year, and so you know, up until then, because I was in that relationship for almost 17 years, so we were both preoccupied for a very long time. And it just happened to be the perfect storm that he gets divorced, and less than a year later, I moved back home. And thank God for Dave, because if I hadn't met him, I'd probably be bored out of my mind. This town is horrifically boring. Once a month karaoke to look forward to. It's not very great.
Once a month.
I love that though. It sounds like, you know, you weren't sitting around thinking and pining over him for years and not living your life. You lived life, you're doing your thing, and then, you know, you let things kind of come back.
You know, I did actually message him in July or something, maybe. I had seen him show up on my, you know, people you may know on Facebook.
Yes.
I sent him a request, and I had messaged him, and he never even answered it. I brought that up to him after. Yeah, I was like, I brought that up shortly after he started dating. I was like, I even tried to message you this summer, and you didn't even answer. He's like, what? I don't know if he ever actually went in search of that message or not, but yeah, I had tried to reach out to him when I knew he was divorced over the summer.
Oh. I reached out to a high school friend, not a crush or anything, just kind of, he popped up on my Facebook, and so I messaged just like, oh, hey, how's it going? He never got back to me.
Rejection.
Was it a call? I wasn't like trying to hook up with you or anything. I think he was married. I don't know, but I was just more so peeping in. So you're not the only one who didn't get a message back.
And that's devastating. No matter the reason, it just kind of hurts.
It does. I agree.
Well, but it sounds like the timing worked out perfectly, because you are now together and the friendship has blossomed into a romance, or as we like to say, an adult buddy.
Yes.
But
nice.
we actually have 2 callers for you today. So when we have a guest, we let our Facebook page know that Amy Hammer Titties, or a Jello Wrestler is what we said about you.
Maybe didn't use the name.
Yeah, is going to be on the show. Who has questions for somebody on how to get your crush to pay attention to you? Any sort of crush related questions. So our first caller is Buck. So I'm going to get Buck on the line here, and then I'll just let Buck fire away.
Okay.
Hello, Buck. It's Greenberry and Kirsten with Adult Buddy Finders.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm in Mexico.
Woo! Oh, I hope it's good there.
Mexico.
It's really warm. It's 71 and dry.
Oh,
I got a quick job to do back here, then I'll be back in LA in a couple of days.
Awesome.
Nice. That sounds wonderful.
Well, Buck, as you know, we have Amy, also known as Hammer Titty, the Jello Wrestler, who not only wins wrestling matches, but wins the heart of a crush that she had for over 20 years. So we just want to let you fire away whatever question you have for Amy. Please let her know.
Well, Amy, you know, I met this woman who was a lot of fun. She's like her in that way that she's outgoing, she's fun, she's exciting. We've been talking online. Like, I reached out to her through her Instagram, and we've been messaging back and forth, and I don't know, I just I can't get her to commit to getting together, hanging out.
and she knows that you actually genuinely like her.
I'm sorry, say that again. I lost that last thing.
Do you know if she knows that you genuinely like her?
Have you really put it out there, or are you assuming she knows by the conversation?
Well, I mean, we talk. We message nearly every day. I specifically asked her when she wanted to get there. I mean, like, I don't want to be that creep who's like, I like you.
You might have to be that creep. I don't know. So it's obvious that it's not just a friend thing.
Well, all right. So, like, truthfully, like, there may be some issues with that with me. Like, I was a bigger guy, and so I feel like I would have these great friendships and relationships. I was interested in that way, then all of a sudden they didn't want to have anything to do with me. Like, I see all my like really good looking svelte friends, ridiculous things and having these horrible haircuts, and the girls being like, "Oh, he's so cute." And I always just get the impression that, you have to know that they're into you. And, she's pretty guarded, I feel like as much as she's out there as exciting and stuff, like, I really don't get the feeling, I don't know if she likes me. And I don't want to, like, we've been having a lot of fun, talking back and forth. And I'd like to get together with her. And I don't want it to be creepy before we meet in person.
Maybe that's the way to go about it, though, to just, you would like it to be more than a friend thing. She may not realize that you have anything other than friend intentions, because you can talk every day and hang out even if you get to that, but she may still not know. It took a friend actually specifying to somebody else for me to make a point that I like somebody. So.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, is there any better way to say to her, I would like this to be more than like, that sounds so like 70s swingery.
Can I just say that by trying to be friends and having a different intention comes off more creepy to me than if you come out straight and you say, I like you, and then she says, I'm not interested, and you say, okay, then I'm cool with being friends, and genuinely being cool with being friends. Or being like, I can't be friends with you. And call me when you're genuinely interested in me sexually.
Yeah, or if all else fails, my 10-year-old just wrote one of those little do you like me, check yes or no boxes. You could always try that.
I suppose I could get a Post-it note.
Yeah, absolutely.
Would it be weird if I just showed up to her match with that Post-it note?
Her what?
Her match?
Oh, her match? Like Match.com?
No. Like, well, she's also like doing some Jello wrestling and stuff. I mean,
oh my God! I think I'll let Amy answer this, and then I have an answer.
I only partly heard it.
Okay, so he showed up with a Post-it note that said, "Do you like me? Yes.
Check yes or no."
Yes,
so she's a Jello wrestler too.
She's a Jello wrestler too.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh, okay.
You think that would be hot? You'd be like,
absolutely, because she's going to be in her element anyway. So.
Oh hell yeah!
Should I give her a heads up that I'm going to come to the show?
Oh.
Would she be bothered with you showing up to the show?
I don't think so. I mean, we've kind of talked about it, but there's always that. I also didn't want to be. I'm just very wary of. I feel like
I think that'd be your best bet.
I just don't want to come off as creepy,
If you show up in a public place like that, then that's going to be less creepy. Less creepy than trying to meet her like at her house.
Yeah,
I feel like if you're feeling, if you're feeling unsure about it, I would say let her know and put it out there. Maybe also like put it out there, not necessarily be like, I'll be there on Friday, but be like, well, how would you feel if I came to one of your Jello matches? How would you feel about that? And then you get a feel for it. And then you could surprise her with not saying which one. If she's like, oh, I would love if you came. But if she's like, oh, yeah, no, that's okay.
Yeah. It's kind of like
No.
what I do for. Okay. And I think, Buck, thank you so much for calling, because it sounds like you've had, your fair share of heartache and kind of, disappointment in this, and everyone has. But I think it's it's so hard whenever you feel like you're not enough, or that you have historically not felt attractive enough, and that you feel like that has been confirmed. But it sounds like there's a delicate balance between, giving someone space, giving them respect, and also just being really honest. And, to Kirsten's point of saying, like, I am attracted to you, and being okay with the results of that, rather than like, I think you can kind of come off as, for women, sometimes there is an intuition. You kind of can, if you do seem like the friend who's like a try hard, then that can be very off-putting. And then you're like, this guy's trying to fuck me. And you can just be like saying like, yeah, actually, I wouldn't mind. And if she's like, no, I don't, you'll know. And it's going to really put you on a path to either you're going to get an adult body with this beautiful wrestling friend of yours, or you're going to find out that she's a platonic friend. And again, do you want that or not?
I feel like that's some good advice. I can see how, like, me, not being clear about my intentions can make a person, feel like insecure, I mean, I can definitely see that, and it's true, like, it's better to get it out there in the beginning. And, I think you two have really given me a nice plan. So thank you.
Yay.
Yeah, thank you for calling. And I think also something to take care of yourself is kind of like Greenberry was saying, of being, kind of thinking about what will happen if she does say, I'm not interested, and thinking about, okay, what, that's okay. And do you want to be friends or not? And can you be okay with it and walk away and be like, all right, well, I put myself out there and I should be proud of that. And one of our guests talked about not putting yourself fully out there, but
I was thinking of that.
So
saving a part.
Yeah,
saving a piece of yourself. Don't put 100. I mean, there's not 100% of you in any of this. So, understanding that there are a lot of outcomes, but ultimately, truly, Buck, whether or not she is, whatever way she's feeling, if you're thinking romantically and she's not, the friendship will end. And if you're thinking romantically and she is, and you don't move, the friendship will likely end, because she'll find somebody, that is okay with saying, hey, I want to go on a date, and this is the day and the time. Let's meet there.
Okay.
Also, I have to say,
I mean, that makes a lot of sense.
the whole showing up with a Post-it note that says, do you like me? Check yes or check no.
Too cute.
That is so cute. That is level of say anything with the stereo above your head.
Yes.
Yes.
My 10-year-old's gonna be so happy he contributed to this.
Yes.
I'm hot for it.
It's cute, but I'm also wondering if your friend did that, would it be cute? Like, if there's a guy, I'm curious. I don't know. I think I'd like it, but I don't know.
I like it because it gives it's playful and fun, which feels easier to me. If I was like, you're so fun and you're amazing, and whatever girl gets you she's so lucky. I'm not that person. And it feels less, because it's playful and charming, it feels less like your heart is on the line, and less if you were to just come up and be like, I've been in love with you for years and you are my everything.
Too heavy.
Too much.
Yeah, see, I don't feel like I would be in a relationship if I'd have done that. I don't know why. I just feel like that probably wouldn't pan down.
And the other thing too, Buck, is this person, we don't know them. Your friendship, we don't know them. If you kind of think she's playful, and I could see it going either way. But if you have a friendship and they're like,
think like it's better to move forward than
Yes.
to get stuck in one spot.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And as soon as you get that answer, then you can, both of you can move forward in whatever direction. And I know for me, I've had lots of romances where I'm like, I wish we would have got together, or I wish I would have said something, and we could have started sooner. So yeah, I say put it out there.
Well, thanks.
Anything else from you, Amy?
No, I'm good. I hope that was helpful advice.
Very helpful. And tell your 10-year-old thank you.
But
I will.
If you're confused, go to a child.
Absolutely. They have the answer to the world.
They really do.
We'll give you the truth.
Yes, which we need to be better at as adults.
We can all learn from Amy's 10-year-old son.
He has lots to say. He is hilarious.
Well, Buck, thank you so much for calling again. So much appreciate you putting yourself out there. And hey, if you're if you were brave enough to call us, I have a feeling you're like so much closer to your next step. So please let us know how it goes.
I will. I absolutely will.
All right. Take care.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
On the subject of whether or not, people know that you like them, I've always been a bigger girl. My friends that are super teeny tiny and skinny, one of my best friends, we go out all the time. She is so used to every guy that talks to her wants to sleep with her.
Yeah.
And, it just kind of becomes a thing. I personally, I don't even understand social cues well enough. I wouldn't know if somebody liked me, unless they literally said, hey, I like you.
Right.
I would never have any idea, because if they're nice to me, I just assume they're being nice to me because I'm funny and,
Because you're awesome.
Yeah.
But I would never think romantically because, I'm the bigger girl. If I'm out with my super hot skinny friend and 98% of my friends are super hot and skinny, it's whatever. I know I make up for it in personality, but still, like, I would not assume they'd be hitting on me.
I'm Amy Hamilton.
Right. That I wouldn't assume that somebody was hitting on me,
I also love that you mentioned friendship lens, because your friends probably think, and I think that you're amazing, hot, sexy, because I think I know you as a friend, and I think it's so funny because we have friendship lenses, and I remember thinking like, I've just been out with my friends and thinking like, oh yeah, they put my hot, cool friend, and it's they're talking to both of us. I'm like, no, it's got to be my hot friend.
Right. And I just assume, any guy that would ever approach us or whatever, be like, oh yeah, they just probably want to sleep with her, but I will entertain them while they're there.
That's the awesome thing, is that we have different tastes, we have different, biases, all of that.
Yes.
And so, yeah, you never know. And sure, there's like the classic, I'm not a fan of the classic hot guy, like all the A-list celebrities. I'm like, ugh. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there, but good for you.
She vomits.
I vomit in my mouth, and then
I get that. I can understand
it. So it's kind of the nice thing of like, you can't assume. I mean, you can assume whatever you want, but you never know who people like.
Not everyone likes pizza, I mean,
for
it's
real.
a wild world out there.
And that being said, also on the other side of it, like, in Buck's situation, who knows if that's somebody, if somebody likes them or not, if he doesn't say anything.
She may not know that he actually likes her.
Right.
He may just think he's nice.
Yeah. I went out with a group of gal friends, and one of our girls is voluptuous. This guy goes, your friends are coat hangers. You're a real woman. They're coat hangers. I've never heard that. I was like, first of all, that was her red flag. Like, you shouldn't diss her friends, but so funny. Like,
that's funny.
He wanted to make sure she knew that she was the one. I'm like, I don't care about your coat hanger friends, your bony baloney friends.
I have heard coat hanger and have been referred.
I have not. I love it.
So.
So are you embracing this, or is that her?
That
fault?
is it. That's me. Skeleton coat hanger.
I'm the free entertainment. I'm not the coat hanger.
You're like, baby, I'm the coat. Whatever you need. I am not.
I don't even need the coat.
whatever isn't a coat hanger.
Yeah, exactly.
Mannequin.
Yeah,
Person.
I'm a full meal, not a snack.
Mm.
You know, come to me if you're hungry.
Might have some leftovers when you're done here, so it's a lot happening.
That ain't true. You look fabulous. You're hot. You're foxy, and you're hammer titty. I don't know why when I talk about you, my voice does this.
That name, it sucks so hardcore. You know, I worked at Shangri-La for a couple of years as a manager, and large groups of golf guys, you know, I'd get to know them because they'd come in every year. And,
you said golf, but it sounded a little bit like goth, and that is
no. Golfing with the with the balls.
Golf.
I
want
Golf.
that.
Is that better? Does that sound golf?
Golf.
Now I'm gonna question my accent.
You're perfect.
They would get to know me because I'm there, and they knew about Jello Wrestling. You know, they knew who Hammer Titty was. So, you know, fast forward like this last year, one of those groups came in. I hadn't seen him. I didn't see him the year previous, but I'd seen him like the 3 prior to that. So they come in. I'm just walking through the dining room of the bar that I manage, and all of a sudden I hear a whole table of like 16 guys go, Hammer Titty. And I'm like, guys. I'm a manager. It's just Hammer now. We got to class this up. Come on, drop it. And they just died laughing that everybody remembers it. It sticks. So trying to just shut it down to Hammer was difficult, but I was working on it.
You can start hammering Kansas and see how that goes. Then when you come back to Oklahoma, see if it can stick. But yeah, Hammer Titty is so fun to say. It's such a visual. What is it whenever a word is what it's a phrase is what it sounds like?
Oh.
I can't think of alliteration. Is that right? No, it doesn't matter. But
that seems kind of right though.
It does.
The word that came to my mind was picturesque, which is not right, but for some reason pictures, you know.
I think alliteration is specifically maybe it could be a word or a phrase, but it's like I think that's right. I think it's like zoom when it sounds like fast.
I don't know. You're talking English stuff. Let's get back to that.
We have that limit.
Oh yeah. Well, we can't get into that because we have a caller soon. But we will want to talk to you about your sex life. I guess we can get one sexy story.
Let's get one sexy story.
We got 2 minutes.
Oh, we got tons of time for sexy stories.
Do I have to initiate? Because
do you initiate? And if you don't,
oh yeah, do you slam him with your hammer? Do you Jello wrestle your crush?
I do not. I take direction well, though.
Oh, so
I like that.
This is fascinating because you, as a Jello wrestler, would have to take control. So you find yourself to be submissive in the bedroom?
I do. I didn't know that I ever liked dirty talk.
Oh.
The man's got skills.
What does he say?
We talked to somebody else.
God.
Yeah.
Didn't realize.
Basically, I'm his dirty little whore, and I'm okay with it.
Oh, yeah.
That was Liz. That was her favorite too. That is not my favorite.
She liked
Daddy. I would have bet you money that I would have slapped you if you ever said that to me. No, it works. I can't. I didn't even know. I didn't even know that I was into that.
Oh, that's always a fun find whenever you are with somebody new and you're like, especially, I mean, as long as it's not hurtful or harmful, whenever it's something where you're like, I don't think I'd like that. Then you try it and you're like, I'm a good little whore. I am a good little whore.
Yeah, he's very forth-telling. He tells everyone in his work, they know our entire sex life, which I've gotten over the embarrassment of that. The first couple of times I went to his work and they knew everything from the day before. I was just like, oh my God, yeah, what are you doing? Now I just roll with it. But he's very.
You walk in and you're like, so what did you think of how I took that dirty talk?
I mean, right. I'm just gonna go somewhere. Damn it. I didn't realize prior to now that sex could be as good as it is. He's gonna get a big head from this. I shouldn't let him watch it.
Okay, you're not that great, Amy's boyfriend. You're not that special.
But he kind of is. He can almost get me there on command just by telling me to do it. It's
wow. That's actually worse special power, honestly.
You already, right?
Don't
give him credit for that. That's you.
That's a good party trick. Like,
I don't know though, because that's never been my experience prior to him. Like it just hits where it's supposed to hit and it just works.
Were you easy at coming before or not?
Never have been.
He's got the magic.
But he's just like, oh, I love that song.
I know.
He's just like, boom, come for me. Or
pretty much.
Good little whore.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And it works. I can't even. God, he's gonna have such a big head.
Greenberry, you need to try some sexy talk with that voice. I'm liking it.
You're a good little whore.
You have to make that face when you say it, because that was that.
You're a little whore.
That's like the 60s.
Oh my God.
News person.
Allergies are going crazy. I look like I'm on cocaine. I'm like,
oh, you good little whore. Scratch my nose. Scratch. You good little whore.
The other thing that actually, I wanted to be offended by, but I can't for some reason. Whenever he says fat pussy, well, he says it all the time because it's his.
That's an interesting one because I'm like, what do you mean?
I know. It's like, is that, should I be offended right now? But I'm not offended. And I'm a big girl, but I'm not offended. It's just, it
there's
works.
certain things that I'm like, and it depends who's doing it and whatnot. I think there's also, for me personally, there's something about having a safe space. And what I mean is somebody I can say no to or be like, stop, and they will respect it. And they will listen to me. Yeah. And then playing in that space is such a turn on and so fun. And you can experiment and you can be like, whoa. Okay, fat pussy.
I pretty much don't say no to him because I do feel comfortable and he hasn't steered me wrong yet. So.
Okay, well, what has he steered you right about? Like, what's something that you've tried with him?
Dirty talk, telling her to come on command. Keep going.
That was the first one. That was the hardest for me because, in that I'm focused, I don't want to feel awkward. He just makes me feel comfortable. So I'll even talk back now,
You do not?
I never did before. It's never been my thing. I'd be like, I had a fling with a guy and I kind of feel bad about this. He was trying to speak to me and I was like, shh. No. I'm focusing. Just no. Stop talking. Stop talking.
So you didn't even like it at all? Not even.
I actually held that guy's mouth shut so he'd stop it. But it works. It's like.
Well, you completely switched roles. So you have historically been the dominator even in the bedroom. And with Mr. Crush, who shall not be named in case his head gets too large.
Right.
Although I think you gave us pictures to share, so.
I got consent.
Okay, yes, good. We're all about consent.
I think also here, because I know in the bedroom, for me, in the past, I've had somebody say, I don't like that. Please stop tickling my balls. I mean, please don't do what you're doing. And then another partner will like it. Right. And so when somebody tells you no or shut up, it doesn't mean never do it again. Right. Maybe with that partner, don't do it again, but it's not your bad. It's not, don't do it. It's, for me, it doesn't work. And if you want with this partner to do it in the future, sit down and have a conversation. But yeah, it doesn't mean you're not bad. You're not shamed for it. It just isn't working for that situation.
That moment, those people.
Yeah.
Right.
But if it's something you like, I bet you can find somebody who likes it too.
Oh yeah.
It's working out.
Which is what we find. We find all these different people that are like, oh, I like this thing. And, we get messages from people. Oh, I'm interested in this, but I'm weird. And it's like, great. Weird is what we are looking for.
Well, and we've only been together a couple of months now, but neither one of us has any desire to get remarried. He's been married twice. I was married the once. I mean, I'd rather live in sin for the rest of my life as opposed to ever get married again. I'm not going to say I'll never do it, but at this point in my life, I have zero intention of ever wanting to be married again. And so that just works.
That's another interesting angle. I want to say angle, but basically it's an interesting lifestyle choice because there is, think of Oprah. There's some famous couples who could be married. I mean, they've been with their partner for years.
Did Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn ever get married?
No.
Yeah, they were together forever. Still are, or maybe, I don't know.
I actually listened to her about her on a podcast, and she just talked about that feeling of like it's a choice every single day, and that for her really works.
Right.
I think that is like making a commitment, whatever that means for you guys. It doesn't have to be a legal government.
Right. You know, if I want a ring, I'm perfectly capable of getting on Wish and spending $3 and buying myself one. Like I can pick what I like that way, you know, spice it up, change it out. Like I don't need somebody to buy me one.
Yeah.
So.
But we'll have your next caller. This caller's name is Ashley, but it's the same sort of situation. We'll give her the same kind of setup so she knows what the hell's going on. And then we'll just let you talk to her. And of course, we'll chime in as well. Okay. Put it on the speaker.
This call is being
Hello. You have Greenberry
And Kirsten.
and Adult Body Finders.
And we have Amy, who is a Jello wrestler, and also she ended up getting with her crush from her 20s.
Ashley, we know that you have found our question on Facebook and you want to know a little bit more about how she found her crush. So Ashley, we'll just let you talk to Amy, aka Hammer Titty.
Awesome. Hi, Amy.
Hello.
So, you know, I don't currently have a crush, but I just wanted to know, how did you pick your crush out of all of the people in the world?
Proximity. He was a neighbor, and we got to be really good friends, and he was just really adorable, and his interaction with my child, he was unavailable, but I really got to like him over those qualities and things, and
Men who are
running into him helped rekindle that. So seeing him again just made me remember how much I had a crush on him, and
And there was also the physical attraction.
yeah, absolutely.
And his hair, at least.
Yes. Which I never would have guessed. So
upstairs hair.
Maybe downstairs too.
You know, speaking of physical, I was also wondering, as somebody who might be considered intimidating, since you are a Jello wrestler, which is pretty amazing, I was just wondering how you got your crush to maybe not be afraid of you.
fortunately for me, he actually had no idea about that history until very recently, different states and things. But I don't come across as aggressive, even if you know. I am actually very docile, and I don't know if outgoing is the right word, because I am outgoing, but
you're friendly, but I could see you being scary, Amy. I could see you.
You know what? My staff always told me that I was intimidating, but I never got that. I'm like, I am so nice. Like,
but I have a feeling you don't take bullshit. Is that correct?
Not very well. No. Yeah, I don't.
Yeah. Do you, so with your boyfriend now, do you have to kind of be like, I have two sides? Or do you find like one side comes out with him more than the other? Or
he likes to make jokes about things that I find infuriating. So I have realized that I do really well to just get quiet instead of mad.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm just not aggressive. I'm really not, even though I seem intimidating. Quiet is my best option if I'm,
you wouldn't solve an argument with wrestling, then, is what you're telling me.
I mean, I don't know that I could get him to do it, but it would be kind of fun to try and do that. But no, it would not be my go-to.
Do you want to actually solve some of your problems, or not problems, but quarrels in the bedroom with wrestling?
I mean, I feel like that would be a pretty good one too. You know, I feel like you could draw a pretty good line from one to the other.
What do you think, Amy?
I recently learned that if I am going to be in an argument, I'm just going to let the girls go, lift the shirt. Nobody wants to be mad when your boobs are out. Like that's just a thing. That's
why they call her the Hammer Titty.
Just whip out a tit. It makes it all better.
Oh my God, I love this tactic.
Actually, Ashley, we were talking before we called you. Amy confessed that in the bedroom she's actually submissive. So she lets her feminine side out with this partner. So there's a lot less aggressive Amy, especially in their bedroom.
Well, she said she's not aggressive, but I don't know. Are the titties aggressive?
Well, I mean, I wear a bra for public service because without one, I turn too quick. I'm taking out a whole row of people. So they might accidentally be aggressive. Like they've been known to do some damage by not paying attention to their location. So they can do that.
What do you think would happen?
I think that's funny when you think that, like, you know, business people or people that are like always on the top of their game and, you know, they're always in control tend to be a little more submissive. So maybe you fall right in line with, you know, some of those hardcore people as well.
Maybe.
Ashley, you mentioned that you don't have a crush. Are you looking for love at all? Or are you just kind of like, how does this work with this wrestling woman? Where are you in the love-seeking world?
Or Jello wrestling seeking world?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Jello wrestling sounds pretty intriguing, to be honest. You know, getting all down and dirty, but not quite so dirty. But
Just sticky.
It's not quite mud wrestling, but
No.
Jello wrestling. So I don't
It
know.
does stick in all of your orifices, though.
Did you hear that? It's gonna get stuck in all the orifices.
All of them for days. And if you did not exfoliate, you're gonna know it because they use red commercial grade Jello where I wrestle. And I mean, your elbows. If you have any dry skin, it's gonna be red for 2 weeks.
How many showers do you take to get the sticky off?
It's not sticky.
Oh,
It has no odor and it has no taste. Don't ask how I know that because I didn't try it. I couldn't. Somebody else put a big old mouthful of Jello in their mouth. And I'm talking after 30 girls just wrestled in it. Like that's so, there's feet and literally everything else. And like, no.
There's flavor. I'm sure there's flavor.
It's just not a good one.
Not the flavor that comes in a box.
Not the flavor that anybody would anticipate. It's not cherry.
Maybe pop cherry.
Yeah, exactly. That's some questionable stuff.
Come up to you after matches, just being like really impressed with your ring presence, and you know maybe initiating people having crushes on you because of your performances.
I don't know. Nobody's ever told me that they had a crush on me from it, but I did have my own little fan base. I mean, I had people just show up for me, and that, I mean, it's kind of a cool feeling.
I feel like, Ashley, what you're getting at is, can you meet an adult buddy through Jello wrestling?
I bet you could.
Yeah, I feel like that is what I'm getting at.
I definitely think it's possible, especially if they actually tell you that they're into you.
I love it.
Could this be it? What I have been searching for this whole time.
What draws you, Ashley, whenever you think about Jello wrestling? Is it like the performance of it? Is it the physicalness? Is it a little bit of everything?
Yeah, I think there's something really appealing about being stronger than people sort of expect you to be. You know, like being able to, you know, put somebody down that doesn't exactly think that you're capable of doing that.
I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
You know,
Some of those smaller girls in the wrestling, like one girl, she had never done it before either. She said she didn't even fight or anything in school, but she was badass. And she even started saying, man, maybe I'm like a badass and I didn't even know it. Like I've never been fighting all this time. She probably should make a career of it. So see, and she's a little bitty old thing. She was mean. Maybe this is Ashley's calling.
I love this idea of getting in the Jello ring and like tapping into that side of
The alter ego.
Yeah. And that kind of gets your sexiness going.
Yes.
And then guys watching, it gets their little horniness going. And then you guys can meet afterwards and have your horninesses meet.
I'll tell you a story off camera after we're done.
I think is what we're all really aiming for here is
Yeah.
Jello Wrestling meet cute.
Yeah, screw all of these apps. What you gotta do is go become a Jello wrestler. Guys, you gotta go watch Jello Wrestling, and that is the new dating app.
Yes.
It sounds
Have a meet and greet afterwards with the wrestlers.
Yeah, exactly.
Like a speed dating.
Yes.
I think overall, when people are pursuing their passions and you are just in your element and you're yourself, and that is like you've heard, I think everyone's heard, you always meet a person whenever you're not looking. But you can't not be looking so much that you're in the basement of your grandma's house and not leaving and not going anywhere.
You're really never going to meet anyone that way.
Yeah. But if you are like putting yourself out there and like, especially in a way that makes you feel sexy and powerful and strong, confident, any of those good buzzwords that everyone's into. I mean, who doesn't like any of those things?
I love them.
I love all those things. You're likely to meet someone, and it sounds like have a really good time in the middle of it.
Oh yeah.
Depending on, even if you don't meet anyone, have fun, and you probably have friends, even the friends that you wrestled in the ring. Did you make friends, or was it all enemies?
No, I know most of the people that I wrestled against and stuff, and several of them actually were friends that, since it was a closer knit community.
Yeah.
It was pretty neat. Then this last year, I hardly knew any of the girls, but again, I didn't wrestle this last year. I didn't even work there. I was just a bystander this year. So that was kind of cool. But I knew maybe half the girls that were in it this year. It's just such a camaraderie, maybe a regular, because one of the girls that competed, teeny tiny little bitty thing, she was a regular at the bar that was holding the event. The girl that she went against was not, like, nobody really knew her. They ended up coming to a stalemate because that's how vicious these girls were. Like they were going at it so hardcore that there was no getting done. They were both tired. Nobody was getting anywhere. Well, they tried to do a round of applause, crowd cheering for who the winner was. That's not fair. And as they're doing it, I was like, this is not okay, because one girl's a regular, one's not. Nobody knows that one. So they're not going to vote for her. And that's how it went. The regular had more cheering. So they did agree that wasn't going to work out. They were going to let them rematch. And then the girls were like, screw it, we'll just split the winnings. like, we're done. We don't want to do it anymore. They were tired.
It's
you can be an outsider that nobody knows and then, meet new people. So
yeah, I love that.
So Ashley, if you are anywhere near Grove, Oklahoma, you can go to the Blind Swine. We're giving a Blind Swine buzz out, shout out, buzz out, buzz, and you can participate in Jello Wrestling there. But they're all
every November.
Look for it. Look online. We got this great thing called the internet that will hook you up.
Yeah, and it's absolutely obtainable because they're always looking for. It's not necessarily like you have to be a professional wrestler. You just have to be willing to
get down
thrown
and dirty.
Around.
Yeah, the one that they did the Swine is just for the Combat Veterans Motorcycle Association. So they just take the donations for them, and it's just whoever wants to participate in it. It's fun though.
I love it.
How did you hear about the Jello Wrestling, Amy?
Because I was close with the bartender, and
That's right.
I worked there too, but not at the time of the first one.
Yeah, that's right. All right. Well, you could just go work at bars until you find one that is a Jello.
Encourage them to do it until you. You don't have to have one that you just start the event yourself. Encourage the bar that you work at to start having the event.
I love that.
There you go.
Yeah,
it's one of the biggest nights the Swine has every year. There's so many people there. It's ridiculous.
I bet a lot of bars would be down for that. If you came in and you said, look, I have this idea to Jello wrestle. I already know how to like get it going. Maybe reach out to people who've done it and start it up. I bet there are bars.
Maybe that's what I should do here, because Lord, we need some kind of hobby. This town.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Hammer Titty is out of retirement, but she's starting wrestling in Kansas. Is that the official announcement?
Not official. It's just maybe an official idea. It'd probably be a good idea.
All right. Well, I hope that helps you, Ashley. Do you have anything else you want to ask?
No, that was great. Thank you.
Yes, thank you for calling.
Thank you
It's good
so
to talk
much.
to you.
Yes, we always appreciate our callers being brave, and we really appreciate your call. So thank you so much.
Thanks. Good luck in your next match.
If I come out of retirement,
When you're 50.
when I'm 50.
Ashley, thank you again. Have a great day. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
All right.
I'm raising the people on the phone.
Right? And I love that she wasn't quite sure. Like she didn't necessarily know where she was going with it, but we got there.
I want to talk to a wrestler, but I don't fucking know why.
That's funny.
I want to crush, but I don't know what type of crush or where, and we figured it out and we got there. And
Yeah. I wish I was a wrestler like full time. I need a job, so maybe that's what I need to do.
Yeah, right?
Go Hammer Titty, go. You can be the referee if you don't want to slam your titty down.
Right?
Ashley was so cute. I hope that she finds.
Oh my God, I hope she
Whatever.
goes out and Jello.
A crush and Jello.
She starts it up, she Jello wrestles, and then, maybe she meets somebody, or maybe she just has a really freaking good time.
Yes, and more importantly, we want that Hammer Titty out of retirement, and we want to say, you heard it here first on Adult Buddy Finder. Hammer. You feel that, girl? You can have it all over again.
I do. All right. I'll come out of retirement at 50.
I love it. Okay, at 50, she said it here first. And Kansas, you better watch out for that. Hey, Amy, would you be open to trying to smash something with your Hammer Titty as a bonus footage?
I'm not prepared for that. I feel like
not today.
maybe. I might have to practice though.
Yeah, practice and find something that's like, even if it's like a sponge, like in slow motion.
Okay, now I'm flashing to that, that, what is it, Trailer Trash Tammy or whatever that's on TikTok, and she like smashes the cockroach with her titty at the Mexican restaurant. And,
Oh no, I never saw that.
oh God, I'm gonna have to find it and I'll message it to you because it's hilarious. Also disturbing. But
you've got a lot of titty smashing videos.
people send me things, like that, my job qualifications, and it's the woman in the older time and she's got coffee cup sitting up here. People send me that stuff. Anything titty related, I get a lot actually.
Let's say our goodbyes.
Oh,
Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And thank you so much, Amy, aka Hammer Titty, for being our guest. We've learned so much about crushing.
getting crushed.
Crushing your crush and crushing things with titties, and a lot of videos to check out.
Oh yeah. So much crushing and Jello.
Thank you, girls, for having me. And for the viewers and listeners, go ahead and crush that subscribe button. Share it with everyone.
Yes, you heard it from Hammer Titty. And do you want her to smash you? You probably do want her to smash you with a Hammer Titty.
I'm gentle.
She's gentle. Well, then maybe you should, whatever you want, do it. What she says.
Yeah, do it. And remember, just like Amy's crushes and everything, you gotta say what you like. So go say that you like this podcast.
Yes.
And share that you like it. With your crushes, with your non-crushes, with your friends.
Go develop crushes just to share the podcast.
Yeah.
And remember, you can go into our show notes, and that is where you're going to find links to everything we talked about, to those clips that Amy was telling us about, which includes some titty crush videos. I mean, we can find it online. We're going to put it there for you to see.
We'll also give you the bar where there is Jello Wrestling, and maybe we'll find some others, or just tell you.
They had a second bar at the lake that had taken up to doing it too. Kelly's bar started doing it, so.
We'll give you the names of these bars.
If Hammer Titty says it, we will definitely put it in. So Kelly's Bar, think Hammer Titty whenever you get this shout out plug.
And you got to tune in next week. Well, not next week, but the week after, because we are going to have the hot and spicy Mistress Elisa. She is gorgeous and beautiful voice. Oh, I can't get enough of her. She runs the podcast, Kink Friendly, and it is so sexy. I can't get enough. I love her voice and I love her advice. and I listen to it all the time.
She's what's known as an ethical dominatrix, which I have never heard of until you turned me on to Mistress Alyssa. So I'll be your.
See what you did there.
It turned me on. Absolutely. Very good ear for comedy.
Yeah, so tune in not next week, but the week after.
You know, for the newest show.
For
Mistress Alyssa.
Lisa. Mistress Alyssa.
Mistress Alyssa.
We got in our heads about it.
Yes. And I'll be your resident dum-dum who knows nothing about ethical dominatrix, and hopefully we'll learn together.
And I've been doing a lot of research on it.
Yes. Yes, you know, Kirsten loves to research, aka I think she's into this, all of this.
What? Don't look at my search history.
Yeah.
I mean, do.
Or do. I think she's into that too. Don't forget, we've been working very hard.
Very hard.
To give you some things on Patreon, because we now have a Patreon.
We do.
We have some people to thank because we actually have people who are Patreoning this podcast, which means we're able to record, we're able to edit, we're able to give you as much as we possibly can. And that takes a lot of time. So thank you so much to Stuart for being our Patreon subscriber.
You, Stuart. And also, thank you, Bill.
Oh, Bill, we appreciate both of you and anyone else who decides to go over to our Patreon, which is also in the show notes, and subscribe because it helps us. Like I said,
helps us to keep this show going and to keep talking to you about how to find that adult buddy.
Hello, buddy.
Yeah, and also in that Patreon, you can get a shout out like we just did.
Yes.
You can get BTS photos, you know, behind the scenes if you want to be a little voyeur.
Yeah, and Hammer Titty was telling you how much fun it is to be shouted. Oh, you want to feel that feeling? Better get on our Patreon.
Get on there. All right.
That's all we have to say.
That's the show. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And thank you, Amy.
Thank you again, Hammer Titty.
Ow.
Hammer Titty.
Good to see you, girls.
Good to see you.
Hanging around with you.